This is CBC Here and Now.
Police return to the courts in St. John's, telling residents to stay inside and stay away.
Just focus on what we're doing for Twillingate and that final push.
Last call to vote for Twillingate in order to help them win Kraft Hockeyville. I'll speak with the mayor just ahead.
Only in Newfoundland can you go from heat advisories one day to frost advisories the next.
Welcome to Here and Now. I'm Peter Cowan. We're a little later tonight, and it's a 30-minute newscast because of the hockey game. But we will begin in St. John's, where the RNC is again responding to an incident at Cowperthwaite Court. Residents are being told to remain inside their homes, and the public is asked to steer clear of the area for the time being. The courts are an area off Whiteway Street near Elizabeth Avenue. This isn't the first time police have been called there this month. Shots were fired in that area last week. It led police on a manhunt to Dildo, where a man and woman were taken into custody after crashing a car. There's no indication that this incident and the one last week are at all related. We have more details tonight about a man who died in Happy Valley Goose Bay yesterday. 26-year-old Ryan Nook was walking along Route 520, the Northwest River Road, when he was struck by a vehicle. He died at the scene. His family says Nook may have been at a party in advance of the Innu Nation election. Many in the community say the party offered free alcohol to those who attended. Criticism has swirled online about lax campaign oversight that allows candidates to offer perks like free alcohol to potential voters. The election will choose a Grand Chief, a Deputy Grand Chief, as well as multiple board members from both Shehajit and Natwashish. The Department of Health is asking some oil sands workers flying back from Alberta to self-isolate away from family members and arrange a COVID-19 test. Any workers who've returned from the Albion Oil Sands project in Alberta since July 28th are asked to get tested. It's because of a COVID-19 outbreak reported at the facility yesterday. A 36-year-old man from Appleton is being charged with several offenses related to yesterday's blockade. An area of Appleton was shut down while police responded to a complaint of a firearm being pointed at a resident. Police got a complaint of an incident yesterday, just after 7 a.m. They tracked a suspect to a house in the River Road area. When the man refused to leave the house, people living in the immediate area were evacuated from their homes as a precaution. Others were asked to remain inside. He's been charged with offenses that include 3 counts of assault with a weapon, possessing a prohibited weapon, and uttering threats. Memorial University's Student Union wants a step up in security and safety protocols for students living in residence. It sent a letter to MUN administration with a number of requests. Here now's Meg Roberts has more.
MUN Students Union is saying more can be done to protect students living in residence on campus. The director of advocacy for the group says they're hearing about sexual assault and harassment and that students feel further victimized when they reach out for help.
These students are spending the majority of their time in this space under the existing regulations, and these regulations aren't providing sufficient protections for students. So we're calling for policy changes, both in preventing sexual violence on campus and a major shift in the response to students who are coming forward.
The Students' Union made 9 demands, including mandatory sexual assault, trauma, and reaction training for staff working with students, mandatory criminal record and vulnerable sector checks for all MUN employees, the addition of an advocate for those at the immediate and early stages of coming forward, and an annual public disclosures of stats from the Sexual Harassment Office.
I think that this is a trend across the country, across the world. Students in university are very at risk for sexual assault and violence, but we're seeing a lot of universities taking the steps to provide the protections for students and really recognizing that this is an issue, it's an ongoing issue, and it needs to be addressed.
In a statement, MUN says it ensures the safety of its community through a number of policies, including their sexual harassment and sexual assault policy, and are confident these processes allow those to make a report and to access resources. But it also said it is reviewing the matters raised as part of Memorial's ongoing efforts to build upon and strengthen its existing processes and services. The director of advocacy for the Students' Union says she believes MUN's incoming president has been thoughtful and engaged in getting to know students. She's hoping this is an opportunity for President Timmins to make a significant change for the fall semester. Meg Roberts, CBC News, St. John's.
The Transportation Safety Board has released some new information about the helicopter that crashed near Clarenville last month. The board says the chopper was trying to land and refuel before the pilot lost control. The three men were flying in a Robinson R-44 light utility helicopter that had left the Springdale Airport. The pilot had planned to refuel at a facility on the northeast side of Thorburn Lake. TSB investigators say as the helicopter began to climb vertically from treetop level, the pilot lost control and the aircraft crashed into the ground. A 69-year-old man from Gambo was killed when the chopper crashed. 2 others were seriously injured. A local pest control operator says he's heard from more people with bat problems this year than any other. Rod Squires says the animals sometimes set up shop in people's attics during the summer. He has 6 attics lined up for cleaning next month. Squires waits until the young bats are old enough to leave the attic on their own before he starts to clean up the mess. Squires says bats can squeeze into people's attics through holes as small as a nickel. The best way to keep them out is to keep everything as tightly sealed as possible. Well, the Innu Nation has signed an agreement to send a massive stockpile of logs through a chipper and then send them on to Europe. The First Nation will be working with JP Forestry from Corner Brook, and the project could create 70 new jobs. It'll see 400,000 cubic meters of wood cut from the Upper Churchill between 2013 and 2015, sent to Europe and the US to be turned into biofuel. Innu Nation Grand Chief Gregory Rich says several forestry companies have approached them in the last few years, but this is the first project that made sense. Work is expected to start this month. While the town of Lewisport is looking for the province's help to redevelop its deep water port. According to the mayor, the dock needs a $12 million fix to be functional again. The port lost its anchor service in 2018 when the province cut the freight service from Lewisport to northern Labrador. The town says it can't go after other business until the port is in working order. Here's Premier-designate Andrew Furey.
I had great chats with them during the campaign, the leadership campaign, and I look forward to working with them to find some sort of resolution to the port. I was actually there during the campaign, stood on the wharf, understand the issues, and I'm looking forward to working with all the stakeholders to ensure that we get some resolution to this issue.
A provincial cabinet minister says she's not running in the next election and is going to be out of cabinet. Carol Ann Haley is the minister responsible for the status of women. She says over the pandemic, she's realized how much of her life politics has taken up and she wants to take a step back. That means she won't be in cabinet when Andrew Furey becomes premier next Wednesday and unveils his new cabinet. And speaking of the incoming premier, he was one of 2 leaders touring Corner Brook today, meeting with community members. Here now's Colleen Connors spoke with not just Andrew Furey, but also NDP leader Alison Coffin about the future of the Corner Brook Pulp and Paper Mill.
This local landmark employs 285 people in the Corner Brook area, some 455 if you include the woodland sector. NDP leader Alison Coffin met with management this morning and discussed some of the paper-making company's new initiatives, like expansion at the port and the mill's partnership with the new forestry research hub.
There is room for newsprint. There's always going to be use of newsprint, so I think that's a very smart thing to do, and it is providing a consistent workforce for folks. But I think the new creative ideas that they have are going to expand their market and make this a sustainable industry for a long time into the future. I do like those ideas, and I think that will make it will improve the future of the mill.
A future that can seem rocky at times, like a recent week-long production shutdown for maintenance. And just last week, the mill shut its doors. A lot of people were without work. They said they had to restore balance because of unfavorable newsprint market conditions.
A week, though, is it's difficult for individuals, I'm sure. However, there are plants all across North America that are shutting down completely. They have stopped running altogether. So the fact that everything that's happened in the world, the shutdown of China and India and some of the major markets, if it only caused a week shutdown here, that's actually not so bad.
Premier-designate Andrew Furey met with mill management in Corner Brook today as part of his very quick tour through Corner Brook.
There's changing markets, changing forces that they've experienced, and I look forward to seeing how we can unlock value from the province to help them ensure that they stay here and work here.
Both politicians packed their schedules with tours, visits, and quick stops before heading back to St. John's.
Well, I wanted perspectives on what's happening, how people survived COVID, what the key issues are, what they would like to see from government. And I wanted to be able to bring those perspectives back to the House of Assembly and help amplify the voices of people from Corner Brook in the House of Assembly to make sure that we can create better policies, better procedures, and a better place for Newfoundlanders and Labradorians.
Colleen Connors, CBC News, Corner Brook.
Twillingate is in the running for $250,000 and the prestige of hosting an NHL game. Voting opened today for Kraft Hockeyville. Grant White is the mayor of Twillingate. Welcome to Here and Now.
Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, so $250,000. What would that mean for your town if you won?
It would mean a lot, obviously. We have an old arena that's in desperate need of upgrades. Our Zamboni is 33 years old. Our ice plant needs some work. It's just much needed repairs that need to be done, and that would be great.
Okay, so aside from those upgrades, what would it mean to get to actually have an NHL game played in your community?
Listen, that would be great as well, whether or not that can be played at the Twillingate Arena or in a nearby facility. But just to win and, the idea of hosting a game at the George Hawkins Arena would be just great for the entire region.
So what have you been doing in order to try and marshal that support in order to win the online voting?
So a lot of interviews, a lot of social media posts. A driving force behind this has been our recreation director, Jeff Blackler. So he's taken charge of all that. But, it's been a great final push. We're receiving support right across the island, right across Labrador as well, and right across the nation. So, a great final push, and we're just hoping that we're going to just, make the cut tomorrow night.
So you're up against 3 other communities from across the country. I'm sure you've gone through and looked at their submissions and their videos as well. How do you think Twillingate stacks up?
To be honest, they haven't. Those that know me, I focus on winning, and I focus on just our community alone. I only know the name of one other in PEI. I haven't looked at anything that they have online. Just focus on what we're doing for Twillingate, and that final push.
I know you've been busy voting, trying to get because it isn't unlimited voting. You can vote as many times as you want. For people who want to be able to support Twillingate, give us an idea. What's the process like?
So the process is, if you haven't done so already, you should have. You go to crafthockeyville.ca. You register by using an email address. Very quickly put in some personal information, and then you're ready to go. There's no password required, just an email address. You obviously go to the George Hawkins Arena, and you vote continuously. Voting will be for 33 hours from 10:30 this morning, so it's already started. You vote until tomorrow night at 7:30, with the winner being announced tomorrow evening.
Well, Mayor White, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck.
Thanks so much. Let's hope we win. Let's do this.
Last couple of days, parks like this have been packed because of all the heat we've been seeing, but natural air conditioning kicked in today. I'll tell you what the forecast for this weekend has in store coming up.
This weather update is brought to you by Newfoundland and Labrador Tourism. This year, it's Stay Home Year, the year to rediscover home.
Let's bring in Ashley for a look at the weekend weather forecast. Ashley, it was a lot cooler today. Is this a preview of what's in store?
No, which is a good thing. It's definitely not. But yes, yesterday I was in shorts and a t-shirt. Today I'm in jeans and a sweater. It's quite chilly out here today. And that is the case pretty much across the board with this shift to northerly winds. Let's take a look at the temperatures. These were the morning highs actually today. 20 degrees in St. John's. Bonavista and Corner Brook all at 19 degrees. Port aux Basques was actually the hot spot today at 26 degrees, and you're still seeing those temperatures quite warm. 23 degrees for you in Port aux Basques, but those temperatures have significantly dropped across the board, and you can feel that chill in the air. 15 degrees in St. John's as we speak. The humidex, so a little bit humid, feeling more like 27, 28 down along the south coast. And again, that's because we're seeing that wind shift to more northerlies. So we are seeing some lightning for southwestern portions of the island, and generally that cloud cover is clearing, and that's because we've got a big ridge of high pressure that is starting to dominate, and that will be the story as we head through the overnight tonight. And with light winds, there is a frost advisory in place. Only in Newfoundland can you go from heat warnings to frost advisories in a 24-hour period, but this is mainly for low-lying areas. We could see some patchy frost through the overnight tonight. For the rest of the island, though, you're looking at generally cloudy skies with the potential for some showers or drizzle. And then eventually we'll see some clearing as we head towards the early morning hours as that ridge of high pressure starts to sink a little bit further south. Temperatures tonight, the warmest will be along the south and eastern portions, 10 to 12 degrees. Otherwise, you're into those single digits. And again, lower lying areas, you could be flirting with the 2 to 4 degree mark overnight. 5 degrees in Lab City with the risk of frost there for you as well. And then generally light winds, except in the east, where we'll see northerlies 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow, not a whole lot to talk about. Nothing but sunshine because of that ridge of high pressure, and that's going to continue right through the weekend. So temperatures will be a little bit chilly tomorrow as well, but it'll feel nice because of that sunshine. 18 degrees, a lot more comfortable. Mid-20s towards central and the west coast, and then in those northern facing coasts, again, a little bit cooler into the teens, mid to high teens through the day with winds generally 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. Heat starting to build back up through the Big Land though. Mid to high 20s will be your afternoon temperatures. And then as we head into Sunday, that's when we start to see that real heat build up back through the Big Land, 30 degrees in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and those temperatures will start to rebound back into the mid to high 20s for the rest of the island. And then look at your Monday forecast, even better. Nothing but sunshine again, maybe a little bit more cloud cover in play up through Labrador, but other than that, temperatures again in the mid to high 20s. So certainly one of the best forecasts, or easiest forecasts I should say, I've had in a long time. Things will start to get a little bit more unsettled as we head into midweek with the return of the chance of some showers, but it does look like we'll stay in those 20s right across the board. Showers possible for both central and western Newfoundland as well. And then up through the Big Land into the western portions, you'll see some showers moving a little bit earlier on Tuesday, continuing through Wednesday across the board. Had to share this lovely shot. Dramatic sky. I love a good dramatic sky of the Gamble River. Thank you to Dale Brow for sending that photo in. And if you have any weather photos to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
So many great sunsets this summer. Thanks, Ashley. Okay, even with those frost warnings, you're probably not thinking about this. Yeah, snow, and specifically sidewalk clearing. The city of St. John's is releasing feedback it got from a recent sidewalk snow clearing survey. More than 1,000 people and 24 businesses responded online, and the bulk of them aren't very satisfied with the city's walkability in the wintertime. The survey takers gave winter sidewalks a safety rating of 3.5 out of 10. 71% said they chose to walk in the street as an alternative. Over half limit their activity because of sidewalk conditions, and about a third say they have to take alternate transportation. City councillors will discuss the findings from the survey and other public engagement at the next Committee of the Whole meeting, and that's coming up on Wednesday. Welcome back to Here and Now. COVID-19 travel restrictions at the Canada-US border will stay in place for at least another month. Ottawa said today the mutual ban is being extended to September 21st. That came as the Public Health Agency of Canada unveiled its latest projections for the spread of the virus.
It is prudent to plan and to be prepared for a reasonable worst-case scenario. This type of scenario could include a large fall peak, followed by ongoing peaks and valleys in which resource demands intermittently exceed the health and/or public health system's capacity to manage.
Dr. Teresa Tam says the goal is to limit the spread of COVID-19 by keeping the infection rate low. Concerts are usually synonymous with summer, not so much this year, but one Canadian band has found a way around that. July Talk is using a popular summer venue near Newmarket, Ontario to stage some safe summer shows. CBC's Natalie Nanowski has the story.
It's the full festival vibe, but from the comfort of your car, and most don't mind.
We came really early. We were here about 4:30 so that we could be still kind of front.
Ecstatic. I didn't think I'd see any shows at all in 2020, so I'm really excited that I get to see my favorite band.
Hi, I'm Leia.
And I'm Peter.
And we're here on behalf of July Talk to announce that our 2 drive-in shows will take place right here at the Stardust Drive-In Theater outside.
When COVID-19 hit, July Talk was just about to announce their 2020 concerts. Instead of canceling them, they came up with something different.
We were really excited.
Yeah, I believe we were like dancing immediately, like, what a great idea.
And our music videos and just cinema in general are things that we tend to really care about and are kind of like a big facet of the identity of the band, so it kind of just felt like a perfect match.
One of the best parts of this experience was that we actually met an archivist who's been cataloging old drive-in commercials from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. They'll be integrated into the show.
A lot went in to get this concert going. There's a stage, 3 screens, and about 600 cars filled with fans. One of the few drive-in concerts in Canada.
So we've got a lot of balls in the air. We've got 8 cameras, we've got a drone camera.
Safety is a huge priority, and that means keeping everyone physically distant. So to encourage everyone to stay in their cars, the only way you can hear the concert is from inside your car by tuning in to a certain radio station. And if you do go outside to buy food or go to the bathroom, you have to make sure that you put on a mask. There's no booze for sale, and security is present to enforce the rules, but the onus is really on fans to stay in their social bubble. And it looks like most people enjoyed the music from the safety of their cars. Natalie Nanowski, CBC News, Sharon, Ontario.
Well, before we leave you tonight, we want to show you some magnificent atmospheric artistry earlier this week in China. It's called an arcus, a low horizontal cloud that typically forms at the edge of a thunderstorm. They don't connect to the ground and they aren't considered dangerous, but they sure look cool. Look at that sight. Well, hopefully we don't see any of those this weekend. We are going to have some nice warm temperatures though. Hopefully you get a chance to get out and enjoy it. I'm Peter Cowan, thanks for watching. We're back to our regular time on Monday night, 6 o'clock Newfoundland time, 5:30 in most of Labrador.